Wow, the game, I guess this was maybe, obviously you've had several close games, but this was kind of maybe one that under, a minute to go, you thought this might not go your way.
Well, I thought a couple of times it might not go. I thought we hung in there, we battled, and when we got down by 3 and we didn't give up, and I think Sarah was smart enough to get into her shooting motion when they fouled, and she hit a key free throw to tie the game up. So I was proud of our effort. We could always play a lot better, but I think we played with a lot of heart, and we got it done. We got the win. We
always talk about Bashar not playing as a freshman. We talk about it all the time. But I mean, the last bucket, that's probably definitely maybe her biggest shot of the year.
Well, I think so. I think one thing about Bashar, whether she's a freshman, she always wants the ball, and she wanted the ball then. And she went up against, I watched the replay, it was 3 people all over her, and she made the play. So she's in the mix of just about everything we do offensively and defensively.
What about the inbound pass from Kimiko? I mean, Kimiko made a heck of a pass to even get it to her. And then having Kimiko, period, how key was that to get her back for that game?
I was not anticipating having Kimiko Williams back. So, she was key. I thought she was key through the whole game. And I did. I thought she had to make the perfect pass at the right time. So we needed her. We needed her to win. I think she had big minutes for us. She had a couple of big rebounds. And I was not anticipating Kimiko to be able to play until game time, so that was a great bonus.
Psychological benefit of that game, you guys coming off a bad loss to Missouri, a young team, how much did that boost the team to fly back after that kind of game?
Well, I would say the flight back was a lot more enjoyable than it was coming back from Missouri. We had a huge team meeting between the Missouri and LSU game, and I thought it was key for us just to get things out and where we are now, where we want to go, and shoot around was high energy. Loved our shoot around down at LSU and the game prep and how we were feeling before the game. So I was obviously glad for these young ladies because we'd put a lot of time into it.
What did you tell them after the game?
Go ahead.
What did you tell the team after the game?
Well, I love their perseverance, and the game is never over, and that's why we do certain drills in practice, because it carried over into the game, and extremely proud of them, showed them how hard work and everybody being on the same page was key for us.
But Ole Miss comes in, not a good record on paper. How do you prevent against a letdown after a game like that to make sure they get their focus back for Sunday?
Well, we'll watch tape on Ole Miss, and they've done some. Their record isn't indicative of how they play. They play hard. They're athletic. They shoot the 3 ball. So
Valencia McFarland, one of the better guards in the league too.
Yeah, and they're quick. So those are things that we have difficult guarding. Some quick athletes that penetrate and ones that shoot long range 3. So it'll as they're down in the league on paper, they're going to come in here being very competitive. Beat Florida. At Florida, so
gave you guys all you could handle.
Absolutely.
At Ole Miss last year, as I recall,
Absolutely.
too.
Couldn't help but go back over the tape, and you sounded so helpless about your defense on Thursday night. Everything was like, well, we couldn't get stopped, so we were doing this or we were doing that.
Yep.
Where do you go with your defense right now? I mean, you get some plays out of it, but it's hard to sustain anything with what you're doing.
It is, Dan. I think our depth has hurt us. Our inexperience has hurt us at times. We've just got to keep pounding away and driving it home in practice and just getting. I think at times we get better and then we have letdowns, and we've got to get to the point where we don't have a letdown. It's almost we get up and we have good stops and then we score and then we get comfortable, and we just cannot get comfortable. And I thought that's what we did at LSU, both offensively and defensively. We got comfortable and then we let them right back into the game.
Do you feel like you switched a lot in the second half? Is that something you think you might have to do? And just I mean, that at least keeps their minds in it, that if you're, I mean, I've never seen you do that much switching. I think
I think I did. I had to switch a lot, and I also called a lot of timeouts when I usually wouldn't, and I burned a lot of timeouts because I thought we were physically tired.
Right.
So I do. I think we're going to have to stay on our game and just keep the opponent, on their toes, and us just switch things and try to get a steal here and there on something that we may do differently.
Are you seeing missing Harrison on defense? I mean, it looks like teams are even trying to drive more on you.
Yeah.
With her not back there.
We're missing Izzy on both ends of the floor. I just think her leadership on the inside and on the offense, I think she takes a lot off Bashar. And on the defensive end, it does. Our presence inside is not as big as we want to. I mean, LSU was big.
Uh-huh. They
were big, and we didn't. A lot of times we didn't have anybody to counter when LSU put their two big players in. We struggled a little bit. So that part of the game, we missed Izzy as well.
Was their offensive rebound also a matter of them? They would drive and draw multiple defenders, and then you don't have people matched up, and they're getting.
Well, a lot of it is that we didn't go back on the weak side, and they were very active, and we didn't go with them and follow and box out. I mean, we had the initial box out, but they were very active on the weak side boards, and that's something that. We keep going back and we'll work today on. So it was key. I mean, I thought that their offensive rebounds kept them in the game.
After both games, after Missouri and after LSU, you've had at least one player say, well, we weren't following the scouting report on defense. Do you have to go back and hammer them on that some too? I mean, it sounds like they're straying from whatever you want them to do.
Well, I think we at times have a hard time identifying how we want to guard individual players. And that goes back to our youth too, and we've just got to make sure that you don't run out on a penetrator, you don't close out short on a three-point shooter, and those are just identifying because different players do different things, and that's us just continuing to learn how to guard use your scouting report to your advantage.
How was Kamika feeling coming off that game? Should she be good to go Sunday?
Yeah, I was a little worried about her because the minute she played. And then us flying home, but I talked to her yesterday. We were really, really light yesterday, and she said after the game she put her foot in an ice bucket for 20 minutes, and she said it was good to go. So I did not anticipate her to play, but we would not have won the game without her. So glad she did.
Coach, taking over this program, obviously you knew there's big challenges, but did you think it was going to be this frustrating and nail-biting in all these games? I mean, as a coaching staff, I'm sure. I don't know. I'm happy you have your hair still.
Well, I knew, I knew what I was getting into. But when you have the injuries, have kind of dealing with those and getting people healthy and getting people experience and that type of thing that's been a little frustrating. But we've been in tight games and we've had big scores, and then we've been in overtimes, and we've been in last second shots. So it's all about getting experience, and I'm sure it's getting experience for me on the sideline as well.
Mickey DeMoss just walked in. I'm sure she'll have some advice for you too.
Coach DeMoss always has a lot of advice. I mean, those are with Coach Summit and Coach DeMoss. It is a wealth of knowledge over there, and they tell me daily what I'm doing wrong. Trust me.
Coach, what was it like coaching against Nikki Caldwell, especially in such an intense game?
Well, it was difficult. I'll be honest, it was difficult. I always want Nikki to do well, and I'm sure she does me as well. And when you play each other and you're great friends, it's hard. But we're both competitors. We both want to win, obviously. We both want the best for our teams. And as we were excited, I know she was extremely disappointed. So, and I would have been too. So it's kind of a little bit bittersweet that you won and she didn't, and it could very easily have been the reverse. So I said that was a kind of a game you didn't want it to end. but I'm glad it ended the way it did.
After the Missouri game, though, did you feel that there was maybe a letdown in the LSU game, or did you expect it to be that close just because you guys are shorthanded?
Yeah, I think it was. I think we were ready to play, and I don't think we had a letdown. I just think it was two teams that were prepared to play and battled. I think, we made mistakes. Nikki's team made mistakes, but I think both teams competed and played hard. So I don't have any. I don't feel like we went down and just laid down. I thought that was my biggest concern with Missouri was how hard are you going to play? How hard are we going to play down at LSU? And I thought we played hard. We made mistakes, but you know what? We didn't worry about them. We moved on and refocused and got the next play. So for that I was very proud of them.
Is there any update on Izzy? If it's still wait and see.
Still wait and see. Still wait and see. She's not. She doesn't have her crutches now. I think she's on schedule. I hope she's ahead of schedule. But I think that everything is moving forward.